in which this is going to go. I like to let people fight it out. But we can go with the with what I have on my list here. And if you have a video, show a video. If you have a brochure, if I can, you know, show what you have and just try to talk about it, and we'll just go through it and see what y'all have. And anybody who wants to stick around afterwards, I'm happy to go over the diet project or any upcoming assignments that you might have. All right. So does anybody want to go first and get it over with? Okay. Well, Jackie, you go.
All right, let me share my screen. I've never done this on Zoom before, so.
Oh, that's right. You're a WebEx lady.
Patience with me, please. All right.
Oh, you were B1 anyway. Your group would have gone first.
Yeah. All right, hopefully you can hear the sound with it too. If not, let me know.
Nope.
Can you not hear it?
I can't. Can anybody else hear it?
Professor, do you think you could share it from your screen? I emailed it to you.
Okay, sure. Why don't you unshare?
I'm gonna stop sharing.
No, that's fine. Yeah.
I apologize.
So you sent it to me in email. Let me.
Yes.
Okay. Let's get out of here. Email. See, where's people? Okay. Okay, hold on. I'll get it started and then I'll share. All right, let's see.
Do you happen to be living in a pandemic?
Can you hear it?
Yeah.
Okay.
And would you say you're in a stressful environment?
Stressful environment. Yes.
Do you happen to have a neurological disorder known as Wernicke-Korsakoff syndrome?
What?
Like, do you drink a lot of alcohol?
Maybe.
Then you gotta try thiamine.
What's thiamine? What does it do? I mean, I'm really only into supplements that can help with my fitness goals.
Luckily for you, thiamine is all about your physical health. It's a key nutrient used by the body to convert carbohydrates into energy, plays a role in muscle contraction and conduction of nerve cells, and is essential for the metabolism as well as controlling your satiety so you can feel full longer. And with this, thiamine supports your immune system and helps your body deal with physical stress.
Okay, that all sounds great, but does it really matter? Is there any harm in not taking it?
Oh, you bet. So beriberi, known as thiamine deficiency, causes a loss of appetite, weakness, pain in the limbs, and shortness of breath. With this, a thiamine deficiency coupled with alcoholism can lead to disastrous neurological disorders like the one I mentioned above.
So why don't I feel any of these symptoms? I mean, I don't take any special supplements for it, and I only eat regular foods like cereal, beans, and pork, you know?
So that's one of the reasons that thiamine is so great. It's supplied by all those common foods, as well as a number of other common dishes. And fun fact, however, thiamine is just destroyed with high heat cooking or long cooking times and leached into water. So don't throw any of your cooking water out and make sure to cook at a low heat.
Okay, so what's the catch? I mean, if it's found in all these common foods, will it hurt me if I take too much?
There is no catch. So thiamine is a nutrient that's crucial for sustaining our bodies. So if you overconsume it, your body will simply flush it out with any excess levels through your urine. So you're all good.
Great, now I know a bunch about thiamine.
Anytime. Have a nice quarantine and remember to keep up your thiamine.
Okay, very good. Thank you. All right, who wants to go next?
Can we go next, Professor?
Okay, and you are?
B2.
B2. God,
Also,
we
I
just
have a
happen to be
question.
going in order here.
Yeah, I have a question.
Absolutely.
Is it pronounced riboflavin or riboflavin or?
Riboflavin. Oh, by the way, it's also called Wernicke's encephalopathy.
Oh, I know, I read that also. Yeah.
That's not you, that was our B1 folks. But yeah. And anything else?
So just riboflavin?
Riboflavin. I say Avin. I put the
Okay.
accent.
Yeah, just making sure.
We're going to share your screen.
Yeah, we're going to share my screen. Hold on. Wait, do you mind sharing the slides we sent you via email?
Okay, I have them. Let me, yes, okay.
Or so we can control it.
Or we can do it if that's
Actually,
easier.
we can do it, Professor. Sorry.
Oh, well, okay,
Just so we can scroll.
yeah.
Okay, I'll get them up now. Sorry.
We're ready.
Do you need me to do anything?
I'm about to share my screen.
Okay, carry on.
Here.
Can you guys see that?
I can.
Okay, cool. Oh, well, okay. So today I have Serena Williams with me, and I'm certified dietitian Katerina Philpi, and I'm gonna tell her why not only she should be taking B2, but how she's gonna be able to win Wimbledon if she does. So do you follow a strict diet, Serena?
Wow, that's great. I'm currently limiting my calories as well as eating a restricted food plan at a consistent time every day.
Wow, thanks for sharing. Would you mind if I shared our informational Instagram page with you?
I would love it.
Let's get started. So today we have B2 is good for you.
Wait, back up. What even is B2?
Vitamin B2 is also known as riboflavin. It's very important for growth, development, and function of the cells in your body. It even turns the food you eat into energy that you need. B2 is one of 8 B vitamins that are essential for human health, and it's crucial for breaking down food components and absorbing nutrients and maintaining tissues.
That sounds great. It makes a lot more sense, but why should I be taking it?
I'll show you. So, B2 breaks down the food that you eat and then maintains your energy supply, which in turn supports an even healthier liver.
I'm not sold yet. Do you have any other information?
Although you can find vitamin B2 in some foods, when you cook the nutrients, they can get lost as the vitamin is water soluble.
Okay, that all sounds great. What foods can vitamin B2 be found in?
B2 can be found in a multitude of foods, such as fish, meat, poultry, eggs, dairy, but especially in foods such as avocado, broccoli, Brussels sprouts, and whole grain breads.
Wow, I guess I should be taking it. It seems to be in a lot of foods that I eat, but how is this going to help me win Wimbledon?
So, many people don't know this, but the most at risk for the B vitamin deficiencies include athletes just like yourself. This is because you aim to limit calories and have consistent restrictive eating plans.
I definitely should be taking it. If only it could cure these terrible migraines that have been happening to me.
You're just in luck. Research suggests that vitamin B2 may help prevent cataracts and migraines.
Sold. Thank you, certified dietitian Katerina Philpi.
Anytime.
All right. Certified, eh? Not registered, just certified. Okay, that's fair. Okay, who wants to go next?
Professor, can we go next? Would you mind sharing our video we emailed to you?
Okay, and you are, what group are you?
It's Allie and I'm not quite sure.
Oh, you sent it to me yesterday. Right?
Yes, I think the day before, yeah.
Yeah.
Got them on the 19th.
Did you send it to my email or through?
Yes.
Okay, let me see. Let me find it.
It came from Christiana from my email.
You know, I saved it here so that it would be right. Oh, here we go. Okay. Just, and then I'll share my screen. Okay. All right. And
have you been experiencing confusion or memory loss, kidney stones, muscle spasms such as these? Or tingling and numbness in your hands, feet, and face?
These are all common symptoms of hypocalcemia, a calcium deficiency. We have the solution for you! Calcium! You can find calcium in almost all dairy products.
Milk, cheese, yogurt.
Or in green leafy vegetables like the spinach and kale behind me.
Anything made with fortified flour. Any fish with bones, such as sardines.
Did you know there's 1 whole kilogram of calcium in your body right now?
That's equivalent to a whole standard Merriam-Webster dictionary.
Calcium is responsible for building strong teeth and bones, clotting blood, sending and receiving nerve signals, keeping a normal heartbeat, squeezing and relaxing muscles.
Avoid me for too long, and your calcium deficiency can lead to cataracts, tooth decay, and osteoporosis, which causes bones to become more brittle.
The more calcium in your diet, the less visits you're going to be making to the dentist.
Calcium toxicity is rare, occurring in those with hyperparathyroidism or high calcium supplementation levels. Like vitamin D, toxicity can lead to calcification of soft tissues. In addition, a very high intake of calcium can lead to kidney stone formation.
This is not something to take lightly. Take action today and find calcium at your local Whole Foods.
Okay, thank you. All right, calcium. Who wants to go next?
Folic acid.
Folic acid? Oh, geez. I got hands popping up all over my screen. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. So I guess whoever yelled the loudest. Folic acid? Okay, do you have it or did you send it to me?
I have it. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay.
Okay. Como aquí. Screen. Screen. ¿Qué cosa? Okay. Could you hear it or just see it?
I just saw it. I didn't hear anything.
Really? Oh no.
Well, I'll listen to it again on my, if you want, but maybe it needs to come through my, no, there was sound on somebody else's, wasn't there? Huh.
No, it needs to come through your computer. I think there's only sound in Kat and Marissa's because they're talking.
Oh. Would anybody mind if we did it again? It's a whole minute and 27 seconds. Is the sound, did you have music? I want to hear it again. Does anybody, raise your hand if you object. I have my hand thing up. All right, okay, so you need to give me the screen back. Did you send it to me?
Yes, Annabelle sent it to you.
Via Turnitin. So no.
In Turnitin, but I can send it right now as an email.
Okay, okay, sure.
It's a YouTube video, so.
Okay. I think that, thank you for, again, being my guinea pig, so we're learning how to do this. Well, why don't we have another group go while you're sending it to me, and then we'll play it afterwards. Okay.
Already sent it.
we could go.
Oh, okay. I got it.
Oh.
Okay. We'll get there. We'll get there. I promise. Okay, share. Whoops, whoops. Wait, turn the music off. Share. Come on, get big. And go.
Told that speaking is effortful. Yes, ma'am. You used to strain, ma'am.
Wait a minute.
While speaking.
And that's not it.
Comprehend very well. Yes, he can.
What happened here? All right, that was different. Very good. All right. HV, what's yours?
Could we go next? Me and Meghna are doing ours on vitamin B6. So
Yes, I want to get you while I still have you.
Alright.
Is it a video or is it?
Right, so it's a video. So I'll just share my screen, and it's me and Meghna are gonna talk over the video.
Right.
So
Oh, you're going to talk over it. Okay. Because I think
Right, so
learning it. Yeah. Okay.
all right. So I'm just 1 second. I'm a little confused. I'm new to sharing the screen. So can you guys see what's up right now?
Yes.
All right, perfect. So, well, Meghna, can you unmute yourself?
Yeah, you have to start.
Okay, fine. Okay, yeah, I'm going for it. Okay. Hey guys, so it's me and Meghna talking about vitamin B6. And what Meghna and me have noticed about people when they talk about their diets is that they're mainly concerned with their calorie intake and amount of macronutrients like fats, carbohydrates, and proteins. So we conducted a survey asking people both in Mumbai and in Boston if they had an estimate of their daily protein intake or their calorie intake. And we also asked them if they had an estimate of their vitamin B6 intake. And for every 7 out of 10 people who had an estimate about their protein or calorie intake, only 1 out of those 10 people had an estimate of what their vitamin B6 intake was. And that vitamin B6 is one of such nutrients that may be required in small quantities, but are equally important for our body to function properly. So vitamin B6 is, as we know, a water-soluble nutrient, and that is not stored in the body. It's actually excreted through the form of urine. And this makes it all the more crucial to understand the importance of consuming the vitamin B6 on a daily basis, as we must replenish the vitamins that we lose from our body. And people wonder why they must consume vitamin B6 and how it's important. So
Even though they're in tiny amounts, they serve many functions such as protein and glucose metabolism, where it helps break down the complex carbohydrates into simple sugars, and then they provide energy. They help in producing hemoglobin, which is used in red blood cells to transport nutrients. Vitamin B6 is one of the B vitamins that benefits the central nervous system, and it is involved in producing the neurotransmitters. As they're needed to be consumed on a daily basis, it it's very important to know what foods contain this vitamin. Some are, which are animal products, vegetables, nuts, and whole grains are great sources for this. In terms of specific and individual foods, chickpea, beef, tuna are good sources. However, one must be very careful and know that cooking and freezing foods reduces the amount of B6.
Well, it's considered rare to have a vitamin B6 deficiency, but if we have to look at the scale of the deficiency scale, it's still ranked as a 3 on 5, which suggests that if someone takes it lightly and doesn't look after their diet properly, there's a high chance that they may have a vitamin B6 deficiency. And these deficiencies are usually caused from long-term alcohol consumption, and it's also caused from poor intestinal absorption and diabetes. So these deficiencies then lead to decreased nerve and skin function, weakened immune systems, and also anemia and other symptoms like inflammation of the tongue and numbness of the limbs. So
the required daily requirements for B6 is 1.3 milligrams, and a great source of this comes from tuna as well as chicken, and that's been stated already. For people who do not eat meat, nuts, pistachio, chickpea, and sunflower seeds are high in percent value of B6, but you must research the food you consume and add up the amounts to make sure they're controlled and you take them in specific quantities.
So, as we see, this is the detailed information regarding how one's body is affected by a deficiency of vitamin C, and I'm sure no one really wants this. As you can see, sore, glossy tongues and cracked lips. And to conclude, one of our main aim of this pitch was to make people understand that micronutrients are as much of importance as macronutrients are, and that vitamin B6, although required in small quantities, is essential to the body. Thank you.
Very good. All right.
How do I stop? Okay, stop sharing. There you go. All right.
Okay. Vicky, I've been seeing you raise your hand. Okay, so which one are you?
Zinc.
Zinc. Did you send it to me, or do you want to do?
I could share my screen.
I mean, do you have a video, or how are you doing it?
Video.
Okay, so I think we realized that I need to show it in order for there to be sound.
Okay, I think if I click share computer sound, it might work.
That might work. Oh, well, let's find out. I mean,
okay.
Why not?
Okay. Let me know if. Oh, yeah. I think I'll have to send it to. Can you see?
I see. So now press play.
This is John. He has been
Here.
Does it work?
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. Let me.
So can you just, before you do it, can you just, so there's a share computer sound, and that's, where do you see that for other folks?
So when you click share screen, in the left corner at the bottom, it says share computer audio.
Okay. Well, we can try that, and if you can't figure it out, I'm happy to play it. Okay, go.
This is John. He has been having symptoms including chronic diarrhea, decreased immunity, thinning hair, decreased appetite, skin rashes, mood changes, dry skin, and impaired wound healing.
The doctor told him he had a zinc deficiency and explained to him the benefits of having zinc in his diet. He recommended John to eat meat and fish in high quantities, as well as legumes and nuts. He even told John that he can find zinc in cereals and baking flour since they're fortified with synthetic zinc.
John listened to his doctor and has enjoyed the benefits of zinc in his body. He has been able to fight off infections and reduce the severity and length of his colds. It has also helped his body heal wounds, grow, improve his senses such as taste, smell, and sight. After noticing these differences in his body, he was able to confirm zinc benefits through finding that zinc is in fact essential for our body's chemical reactions and is one of the building blocks needed for our cells to make proteins and molecules.
John was so happy with the way his body was functioning with added zinc that he got way too excited. He accidentally indulged in too much zinc, which led to toxicity. He began feeling symptoms such as stomach pain, nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, and headaches.
He called his doctor, which told him if he chronically keeps consuming higher levels of zinc, it may interfere with the body's absorption of other minerals like copper and iron. The doctor said the recommended daily zinc intake is 8 milligrams for women and 11 milligrams for adult men.
After learning how to balance his zinc intake, John became a new expert at zinc. He has never felt so good, both physically and mentally. Aside from learning that zinc is involved in numerous aspects of cellular metabolism, plays a role in immune function, protein thin synthesis, wound healing, DNA thin synthesis, cell division, growth and development, he also learned a few fun facts.
He now knows that zinc is a trace mineral, meaning the body cannot generate it or store it on its own. It comes from our diets. He also learned that oysters contain more zinc per serving than any other food. Lastly, he learned that some of the weirdest side effects of zinc deficiency involve abnormalities of smell and taste, because the metal is crucial to these processes. Be like John, get your zinc!
Okay, very good.
That was it.
Okay. Sarah. Sarah, then Yael. Okay.
Awesome. I'm going to share my screen.
Okay. Do you have a video?
No, so me and Jordan are going to do a pitch, but then we have a little presentation with some of the images.
Okay, cool.
Okay. Hi everyone, I'm Georgia.
And I'm Sarah.
And today we're pitching sodium in the right amounts and from the right foods.
Now, what is sodium, you ask? Sodium is one of our body's electrolytes. Electrolytes are minerals that create electrically charged ions. These minerals are important for many of our body's functions.
These functions include conducting nerve impulses and contracting and relaxing muscles. Additionally, sodium resides in the fluid and blood around cells, so it plays a vital role in keeping these fluids in balance. While all these functions are important, the body only needs 500 milligrams of sodium to perform these functions, which is a very small amount, which is why we are promoting sodium, but not in excess.
Sodium is also essential for overall hydration. Without sodium, you may develop hyponatremia, which is the term used to describe abnormally low amounts of sodium in the blood. On the other hand, too much sodium is called hypernatremia. Hypernatremia causes you to have too much sodium in the blood, causing water to release from the cells and into the blood to dilute it.
It is estimated that 75% of our sodium intake comes from processed foods in our diets. Processed foods that are high in sodium include processed lunch meats, cheese, and chips. The rest we add while cooking, while eating, or the sodium is added from natural sources. Natural sources of sodium include celery, beets, and milk, but have very little sodium compared to the processed foods.
Now, sodium can get a bad reputation because our society overall eats too much processed foods. These foods are way too high in sodium and can raise blood pressure and lead to heart disease or stroke. This is why we are here to remind you that sodium is naturally occurring, and if you eat whole foods, then you will naturally get the sodium you need to keep fluids balanced, maintain vital body functions, and of course, stay hydrated.
Right, because you cannot function if you are not hydrated. Like we mentioned earlier, electrolytes are essential to hydration. Dehydration has negative health effects.
Don't avoid sodium, just avoid processed foods.
Thank you. That's it.
Thank you. All right. Yael and Pepe.
I'm going to try to share my screen the way that Dottie did it.
All right, good luck.
Thank you. Can you guys see it? Okay.
Hi, thank you for your interest in applying for the role of director at Unhealthy Bodies Corporation.
Thank you so much for taking the time to interview me today.
To start off, tell me about yourself.
So I'm magnesium and I'm very versatile and have been involved in over 300 enzymatic processes in the body. My specialties also include bone health and the maintenance of potassium and calcium. Whether through green leafy vegetables, nuts, or whole grains, I'm easily accessible from a lot of food sources people commonly enjoy, even avocado, tofu, and dark chocolate.
Great, thanks for the introduction. Now, What are your prior experiences?
So in the fall of 2020, I worked as a manager in charge of regulating muscle and nerve function, blood sugar levels, and blood pressure. I was able to successfully display tangible results by decreasing inflammation and improving depression in some patients. Furthermore, in the spring 2019 till now, I worked as an entrepreneur. I actually launched a venture that develops protein, bones, and DNA, and I developed a solution for energy production. And finally, I worked as a facilitator since fall 2019. I transported calcium and potassium ions across the cell membranes. I run a department that oversees muscle regulation, heart rhythm, and nerve impulse conduction.
Wow, it sounds like you've done a lot of work. What would Unhealthy Bodies Corporation be missing out on if we don't hire you?
So 3 things. There are 3 types of deficiencies that can be caused if you don't hire me. First, you can lose appetite, cause nausea, vomiting, fatigue, and weakness. In the second level, missing me would cause numbness, tingling, muscle contractions, and cramps, seizures, personality changes, abnormal heart rhythms, and even coronary spasms. And finally, in the third level of deficiency, we can cause hypocalcemia and hypokalemia.
As you should know already, this is quite a demanding role, especially because you'll be working on your own. What are some of your weaknesses?
So some of my weaknesses are that I actually prefer to work on my own. One of my weaknesses is that if I work with more magnesium directors, I can cause nausea, abdominal cramping, diarrhea, and an irregular heartbeat.
Beyond work, what are your interests?
So I actually volunteer at a magnesium inadequacy organization, which includes people with alcohol dependence, gastrointestinal disease, type 2 diabetes, and older adults. I'm really passionate about helping these people get back to stable health.
Thank you for taking the time to interview with us today. You are very impressive, and we'll definitely provide you with a decision soon.
Thanks so much. Here's my resume.
Thank you.
Very clever. We had a little discussion before this, so thank you. Okay, anybody want to go next, or shall I just start calling? Okay, Katie.
One second, I'm Katie's partner. I'm just going to share my screen.
Okay.
Can you guys see it?
You sound like me. And then the next one is, can you hear me?
So Katie and I are registered dietitians, and we are here to sell you iron and explain why you need it. So to begin, the major functions of iron in the body is for the normal energy yielding of the metabolism, which is for the cells that need iron to convert food into energy. And of course, everybody needs energy. And also the normal cognitive function of the immune system, and most importantly, the transportation of oxygen to the blood. And sufficient iron in your diet will increase your energy, reduce fatigue, improve cognitive function, keep your immune system strong, transfer oxygen, and help your cells maintain healthy cell division. However, if you are iron deficient, there can be many symptoms that go along with this, and this includes extreme fatigue, weakness, chest pain, fast heartbeat, shortness of breath, pale skin, dizziness, cold hands and feet, and brittle nails. And also there's a condition called anemia that can occur if you are extremely iron deficient. And this is a condition where you lack enough healthy red blood cells to carry adequate amount of oxygen to the body's tissues. And this condition can cause tiredness, weakness, and along with any of the other number of symptoms that I mentioned above. And the treatment for this involves taking iron supplements or changing your diet.
Okay.
Is
that it?
Up. No, scroll up.
So some fun facts about iron is the 6th most common element in the universe. Pregnancy amplifies the risk of iron deficiency in women, and eating vitamin C with plant food sources of iron will help with the absorption of the iron. Some food sources where you can get iron are from both animal and plant sources. Some animal sources include lean beef, oysters, chicken, turkey, and fish, and some plant sources include beans, lentils, tofu, baked potatoes, cashews, dark leafy vegetables like spinach, fortified breakfast cereals, whole grain, and enriched breads. And if you look at some of the pictures, those are some other foods that contain iron. And then, as we all know, the dose makes the poison. So if you overdose on, iron, well, if you take too much of iron, this could become a little dangerous. If children younger than 6 years overdose on iron, they can that can cause poisoning deaths. But toxic effects for adults begin to occur above doses of 10 to 20 milligrams of elemental iron. And then in terms of blood values, iron levels above 350 to 500, not sure what that is, are considered toxic. And levels above 1,000 indicate severe iron poisoning. And symptoms of toxicity include nausea, vomiting, constipation, and diarrhea. And then long-term effects are liver damage.
Okay. That's milligrams per deciliter.
Oh.
Okay. All right. Thank you. We have a couple any takers? Jordan. And then Tyra.
Izzy, are you going to share the video?
I sent it to your email, Professor, just in case it doesn't work.
Okay. We're all winging it, so don't worry. Do you want me to find it, or did you want to share your screen?
Yeah. Would you be
you
able
want me to do it? Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm definitely winging it. Okay.
Thank you.
Let's see. So it's in my email. Okay. Why did okay? YouTube. Oops, wrong. Don't want to end. Cancel. Okay.
So that's our video, and just one fun fact that I wanted to share after we played that is if you take a dietary supplement for B12, some of the nutrients that you get from that vitamin is limited. So let's say you take a 500 microgram oral supplement, you might only actually absorb 10 of that. And so here's, actually, I don't know if I can share my screen. I'll read through it, but there's recommended dietary allowances for vitamin B12 just to keep in mind. I know a lot of people who tend to be vegan or vegetarian are really worried about B12, and it's something that's always on, it's very publicized and you need to take more B12. So they recommended for ages 14 and up, that's us, male is 2.4 micrograms and female is also the same. If you're pregnant, it's a little higher, but And a lot of the pills that you would take, so like if you go to CVS and you see like the Nature Made brand, a lot of them tend to be a lot higher than that. So you don't necessarily need as much as you might think you do, and you probably already get it from a lot of the foods you're already eating. Like we said, it's found in a lot of animal products, fish, meat, poultry, eggs, milk, but it's also found in some plant foods. So just because you're not eating meat and everything doesn't mean you won't get it. So it's good to look into that, just so you don't think you need to be taking supplements you don't actually need.
Can I just ask you, so what non-animal sources have B12?
I didn't really, it just said plant foods, but I'm assuming that just means like maybe vegetables.
Well, I think, yeah, I'd want to be more specific. I know that you can grow tempeh, for example, or in a B12 enriched broth.
Oh, I think mushrooms actually have B12. I feel like I read that somewhere.
Okay.
Or soy. I think soy does too.
Well, yes, tempeh is a soy product, yeah.
Okay, so then yes.
Okay. All right. Okay. Tyra and Kevin, what do you have?
I emailed you a link.
Okay.
It's a YouTube video.
This is so fun.
And then we also have a vitamin A resume, but you don't have to show that.
Okay. Let me just find it. Vitamin A.
Vitamin A, we're ready for your interview now.
Hi, thank you for having me.
Welcome to the human body. What makes you think you're a good fit for us?
I am vitamin A. I am an essential organic compound that is required for growth and maintenance of good health.
Well, what makes you so special?
I am needed for the proper function of the visual system. I also play a key role in the immune system and in maintaining cell function for growth.
That's great. How do you see your future here at the human body?
Once digested, I will start in the intestinal cells and work my way up to the liver with the help of chylomicrons. I also get along well working with fats as it's better for my absorption.
Would you be able to supply us with the recommended dietary allowance?
Based on the RDA, through consumption of animal products like egg, cheese, and liver, and the consumption of plant products like carrots, squash, and peaches, I can provide you with around 750 to 1,000 microgram per day.
That's wonderful. Is there anything else that we should know about you?
Without me, you risk vitamin A deficiency, and the associated diseases are night blindness, keratomalacia, and complete blindness. Overconsumption of vitamin A. This may lead to a decrease in bone and tooth density, complications with the central nerve system, the GI system, and neuromuscular coordination. The skin may also become orange with excess beta carotene.
That doesn't sound good. But besides that, it seems like you have all the necessary components that we're looking for the human body and are super qualified. We would like to extend you an offer right now.
Thank you so much. I'm so excited to be a part of the human body. Bye-bye.
Thank you. All right, we're down to potassium, vitamin D, and vitamin K.
We can go, Professor. Potassium.
Okay.
I can share my screen if that's okay.
Sure.
All right. Can everyone see this okay? Potassium? Okay. So Scarlett and I did potassium, and we're here to tell you what it is and why you should care. A fun fact is that potassium on the periodic table of elements is represented by the letter K. So we want to say that your body will definitely thank you after this. So where can I find it and what does it do? You can find potassium in foods like bananas, baked potatoes, artichokes, watermelon, lentils, milk, spinach, avocados, and sweet potatoes. But the list is pretty extensive. It is considered a macro mineral, so we need it in large amounts. Adults usually should aim to get at least 4,700 milligrams of potassium per day, but a lot of people won't even scrape the surface of this. It also works as a mineral in your cells. It's considered an electrolyte and helps your nerves and muscles work as they should. And it can also help keep your heart beating at a steady rate. One benefit to potassium intake is that it helps to fight kidney stones and improves bone health. It can help with reducing blood pressure and water retention, protects against kidney stones and osteoporosis. One study found that there is higher potassium intake is linked to a decreased risk of kidney stones. So when potassium attaches to the calcium in your urine, it stops mineral crystals from forming. Dietary potassium can also help fortify bone mineral density.
So then moving on to potassium and high blood pressure, diets that emphasize a greater potassium intake can keep blood pressure in a healthier range. And we found a study done by Harvard School of Public Health that showed that a diet consisting of 8.5 servings of fruits and vegetables plus low-fat dairy products, reduced sugar, and red meat can lower blood pressure in people with high blood pressure by as much as 11. And then for potassium and stroke risk, higher potassium is also associated with a lower stroke incidence. High blood pressure and risk of stroke go hand in hand. So we found a study that followed 43,000 men for 8 years and found that those who consumed the highest amounts of dietary potassium were 38% less likely to have a stroke. And then at the bottom here, we did a little what happens if. So if you get too little of potassium, this is called hypokalemia. And this condition arises when there's too little potassium in the body. And the most common causes of excessive potassium loss is frequent urination, or if you're vomiting or have diarrhea, you can lose a lot of potassium that way. Low potassium levels can lead to muscle fatigue, cramping, and twitching. And this is pretty common. In most cases, people do need to consume more potassium. In the rare case that you get too much, that's called hyperkalemia. It's super rare, but it can be dangerous and something to look out for. When your kidneys aren't functioning properly, they're unable to remove potassium from the blood. So you get this buildup of potassium in the bloodstream that can impact the way your heart functions. Obviously, these are in extreme cases, but it is something important to note. And that is all we have.
Okay, thank you. All right, vitamin D.
Okay, I'm gonna share my screen with you. Can you see it?
Yes.
Okay. Hello, everybody. We will be presenting a brochure about vitamin D. And we designed this brochure to be an infographic, so super easy to understand. You can show this to kids, to adults, very reader-friendly, and it's filled with reliable and trustworthy facts. So it's kind of a one-stop shop for everything that you need to know about vitamin D so that you're an informed consumer and you know how to best utilize this vitamin. Many people have heard a lot about vitamin D, but don't really know where to get it, what food sources, or just rely on the supplement form. So our goal is to inform consumers. So you can take this, print it out. We have laminated copies and share this with others. So yeah, let's begin. Let's just talk about the sun vitamin. So many people are misinformed about what vitamin D actually is. You may have seen it on the back of a food label somewhere. You may have seen the supplement form, but vitamin D is really just something that occurs in food as well and from the sun. So it's a fat-soluble type of vitamin, and it helps with bone mineralization, and it actually helps your body absorb calcium, which is really good for maintaining bone health. So maybe if you have like a glass of milk, that's calcium, and then you have some vitamin D, let's say, you know, some eggs, there you go. That works kind of hand in hand. So yeah, in addition to bone health, it's really good in reducing inflammation. It's also great for your cell growth and your general immune function. So like I said, you can get it through sun exposure, you can get it naturally through food, or you can take the supplement form of vitamin D, which is pretty popular. So it's really an issue in the US as well, or if you live somewhere where the sun doesn't come out a lot, vitamin D, try to eat more food sources. So I will let my colleague take over and tell you a little bit about the food.
Yeah, so let's talk about some of the food sources that you can find vitamin D in, and there are a lot of delicious options. So first is actually one of my favorites is having like oily fish. So things such as salmon, sardines, herring, mackerel, and canned tuna. My personal favorite out of those is salmon because it's super easy to make, and you only need like 8 minutes of baking or just pan frying. And you can go just like simple with salt and pepper, or you can do like a salmon curry with vegetables. So there's a lot of, you know, just creative ideas that you can make with the fish options. But if you're not a fish lover, you can also go for the red meat options. So meat such as like pork, steak, beef, and lamb. So there's a lot of different options that you can go for. And then if you're into liver, so I know not a lot of people like liver, but some really good options that are tasty are like chicken pate liver and also foie gras, and just like, you know, it's very good on like bread, baguette, or even crackers. So there's a lot that you can do with liver, and also egg yolks. So this is pretty simple. I'm sure this is a staple to, in everyone's home. You probably have eggs for breakfast, or, you know, in your meals throughout the day as well. So this is a pretty easy source for vitamin D. And then if you are a vegetarian, mushrooms is a great option for vitamin D. So there's a wide variety of mushrooms. So like shiitake mushroom is one of my favorite, enoki mushroom, and also baby portobello. And then the last kind of really good source for vitamin D that we're going to talk about is fortified foods, so such as cereal, oatmeal, cow and soy milk, and orange juice. So as you can tell, there's a lot of different food sources that you can get vitamin D from. Just make sure that you get kind of several throughout the day. And if you want to quantify it into a number, so let's say for everyone here, as a general goal, you should aim for around 600 IU daily of vitamin D out of these food sources. So a lot of good options here. And then, so if you're having kind of less than 66% of the daily recommended intake, then there are several kind of dangers to this vitamin D deficiency. And as we mentioned before, it's kind of a deficiency epidemic, especially in the US. If you're not getting kind of vitamin D from the sun or from these food sources, it could lead to loss of bone density. So cases such as osteoporosis, which is making your bone more brittle and weak and prone to bone fractures. And then in children, rickets can be prevalent if you have vitamin D deficiency, and in adults is osteomalacia. And aside from this kind of bone density issue, there have been studies and research that link vitamin D deficiency to cancer, cardiovascular disease, diabetes, autoimmune diseases, and depression. And as of a side note, right now, scientists are studying the link between vitamin D and coronavirus positive rates. So this has not kind of been confirmed as an actual relationship yet, but they have seen correlation in the lack of vitamin D and people that test coronavirus, test positive for coronavirus. So vitamin D is super important for you, and it's like we said, you can get it from the food sources or from sun exposure.
Yeah, and just to talk about the side effects of taking too much vitamin D. So usually people take too much in supplement form because you can really get it naturally. And you know, if you're having a few vitamins, if you take too much, it is possible to have too much. And what can happen is a high level of calcium in the blood, nausea, vomiting, poor appetite, constipation, weakness, confusion, disorientation, increased thirst and urination, and can actually lead to kidney damage. So be pretty careful in taking a supplement because you can overdose in a supplement. So we just thought we would mention that. But yeah, overall, just to wrap up, vitamin D is a super important building block of the body, essentially, because you know, you need it, you know, for healthy bones, to avoid, you know, falls. A lot of older people take it. So it's great for your immune system and for bone health. So make sure that you're getting your vitamin D. And if you have any other questions, feel free to reach back out, and we will be distributing these nice little infographics after class if we could. Thank you.
Right, thank you. And last but not least, our lone Kyle. Oh my goodness, Kevin, I've already seen you.
Yeah. Hold on. Let me share my screen. Let me see if I can. Tell me if you see this.
Got it.
All right. Cool. So I did vitamin K and why it's important. So what exactly is vitamin K? Vitamin K is an essential vitamin that helps you when you get injured or wounded. Helps your skin scab up, and also helps maintain bone health. It's also found to help women when they are in menstrual pain. It also helps prevent internal bleeding and maintain a good immune system. So where is vitamin K found? Vitamin K is found in leafy greens such as kale, lettuce, and spinach. Broccoli and Brussels sprouts also contain good levels of vitamin K. And if you aren't into eating your veggies, it's also seen to have, vitamin K is also seen in some cereals, eggs, and fish. So why exactly would you need vitamin K in your diet? So improper levels of vitamin K can really affect your healthy living. So some of it could be like excessive bleeding, poor bone development, osteoporosis, and an increased chance of cardiovascular disease. And then, can vitamin K be dangerous? So when you're eating regular food, so just regular food, just living your day, you won't have a problem. But once you supplement it, so metadone is the synthetic version of the vitamin. It has been seen to give infants jaundice and hemolytic anemia. So pretty much, if you live your life, you won't have a problem. But if you start supplementing it, that's when you could have an issue. And some more information on it is vitamin K is very accessible through a regular healthy diet, and you typically don't need to supplement it. The ideal consumption for the vitamin is 122 micrograms for women and 138 micrograms for men. And the best meal to consume that is rich in vitamin K would be a salad or a meal with lots of greens. So just make sure you eat your veggies.
All right. Thank you. Okay, folks, good job. This was very fun for me. I appreciate all the work that y'all put in, and we're done. So if anybody, I know I had one or two people ask me about to review the diet project. So if you're ready to go, go. If you want to stick around, I'll just talk about the diet project for a couple minutes for those that have questions. Otherwise, I'll next week. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Professor. Have a good one.
Okay. All right, so you must be my diet project people. So what kind of questions do you have about it? What would you like me to go over?
I just wanted to know the difference between the first two documents that you provided, because both are essentially meal trackers.
Oh, wait, do you want me to record this so that you can see this in the recording, or can I stop recording now? Anybody? All right, I'm gonna stop recording because I did make a video